What is going on, mortals? Mortal T here. Today we're back on Ark Survival Evolved on the Fjordur Map. And today I'm going to be showing you some of the best locations on this map that you can get metal from. So, metal is a good resource. There's usually tons of it throughout all the maps in Ark. Fjordur is no different. There is tons of it scattered around the map. But trying to find the best places and the safest places to gather metal can be kind of tricky. But I'm here to solve this for you. So we're going to go through locations that have a little bit of metal that are like really safe. Some locations that are dangerous but have quite a significant amount of metal. And ones that are just really superb to come across because you can set up a little like base there and get a nice forging stuff there. So we are at the first location already right behind me. It's at the mouth of this cave. So on the map we're down in the bottom left hand corner, as you can see. The coordinates to the entrance of this cave are 86.2, 5.1. Now usually when I go in this cave there is nothing spawns like in the entrance. That might just be for me, but every time I've come into this cave nothing spawns in the entrances here, and we're not actually going too far into this cave. We're literally just going to go to the entrance. So we're going to come here, we're going to follow it down and going to come across some stairs right here, and we're just going to follow these all the way down until you see this right here. We're not going to go past this point. We're not going to turn right and go into the actual cave where stuff might spawn for you. Stuff might spawn here, but it's probably just spiders, titan boas, scorpions and stuff. But I've never had anything spawn in like the entrance. So this is one of the worst locations of the ones that I'm going to show you. That's just because of the lack of metal. There still is an absolute bunch here, and a lot of them are high density nodes, so you are going to get a lot out of them. So you could probably bring an Anki in here and you might get a lot of metal. So let's just scout around here. This one, not high density, but it's still got a lot in it. This one here. Even these small rocks right here that just landed on will contain some bits of metal. High density there, one there. Some stuck in the corners around here. Over here, there. So yeah, all those there will give you a decent amount of metal, and for me it is relatively safe without actually going into a really labyrinthine. Without going into a complicated cave. So that is our first location. It's probably one of the ones with the least amount of metal nodes, but for me it's just one of the safest that you could probably bring an Anki down here and get a bunch of metal for yourself. So the rest of these locations are going to be scattered across this entire map, so it doesn't matter where you have made base on this map, you'll be able to get your hands on some really nice metal nodes without traveling too far. So with that one out the way, let's move on to the next location. Here we are at the next location, mortals. Now, be warned, this location might get a bit more dangerous just because we are next to the Wyvern Trench. But as you can see, for me, on this stretch of land, there's actually nothing bad right here. But the metal nodes I am going to be showing you do lead to the Wyvern Trench as well. So there might be like a random wyvern that might come in here. But this is also another good location where you could bring an Anki to, and you could just walk through it and just smash all the metal nodes. So we're right here to like a little passageway. That's what I'm going to call it, because it's not actually a cave. On the map, here we are. We're over at the lava biome, magma biome, whatever you want to call it. The coordinates are 88.9. 74.4 before. This is the entrance, and this is the way I'd go in. I wouldn't go in from the other end just because it is the Wyvern Trench. But if you just come through here, let's get some light. You're going to notice all these rocks that are down here will give you obviously some metal, but if you bring an Anki down here, you will also get a bunch of flint. As you can see, metal nodes, these are high density ones as well. More metal nodes, really high density. Another one there. You'd also get a bunch of crystal while you can down here as well, which is also handy. Just keep following it through, and you're going to see nothing but high density metal nodes throughout this little passageway. As you can see, we are getting deeper and deeper, and there's just more and more metal nodes. But as you can see in the distance right there, that just rendered in was a wyvern. So there's no need to go all the way down because the metal nodes do kind of stop. So roughly where this opening is where you're going to want to stop and turn around and go back up. But as you saw, there is nothing but high density metal nodes throughout this little stretch right here, this little passageway, along with a bunch of crystals, rock and flint. It's actually one of the better locations, even though it could be slightly more dangerous for you mortals, just because the metal nodes here are all high density metal nodes, meaning that you're going to get more metal out of those metal nodes than the other metal nodes. So that is the second location. As you saw, we're on a different island right here. Now we're going to move on to the opposite side of the map, and there are going to be multiple locations I'm going to show you over there as well. Here we are at the next location, mortals. Now this one is very, very cool to look at. It's a very, very nice cave, but this one is extremely dangerous. Just because you can die just by slipping or putting one foot wrong. That's how dangerous this is. This is probably one of the most dangerous ones there is. Not because of the dinos that are inside the cave, because of the cave and where the metal nodes are themselves. So, here's a big opening, and it's fantastic to look at. Well designed on the map. As you can see, we're kind of like up top in the middle-ish, kind of between the 50 and 60, I believe, or something. The coordinates are where I am. Actually, let's just go to the entrance. I can give you the exact coordinates to the entrance, because that's where we're going to be going, is in there. It's 12.3, 62.6. Now keep in mind, this is an actual cave, so as you can see, you're going to come across bats, maybe some titan boas and some scorpions and stuff, but from my experience, there isn't actually a lot in here. And before you come in here, grappling hooks is probably the best one if you haven't got the setting on that allows you to take flyers into caves. If you have got that setting on, I would recommend taking a flyer into here just because of how dangerous it actually is. But grappling hooks if you haven't got them, or even zip lines if you've got the if you've learnt the Ingrams to unlock the zip lines and the mechanical zip line motor and stuff. But here you go, this is where we are. This is the dangerous place. As you can see, there are scorpions in here. Now, once we get onto this bridge, and we're going to come to the edge and we're going to look down. That is where we are going, down right next to the lava, because that is where super high density nodes are located, and you're going to get a lot of metal from this location. But like I said, it is extremely dangerous, because if you slip into that lava, you're basically dead unless you've got an absolute ton of health, or you've maybe brought some of the stews with you that will help you like regenerate your health or something. But yeah, grappling hooks or a flyer for this location. So let's go down. I'm going to try and quickly go around and show you everything it has to offer. So, metal nodes everywhere. There is also sulfur in here, just in case you need sulfur for something. But more metal nodes and sulfur. Just keep going around. More sulfur, metal nodes, sulfur, metal nodes. Everywhere you look, basically, is metal nodes and sulfur right in here. Metal nodes, more metal nodes, and even more metal nodes. So yeah, good location to get a lot of metal and sulfur, but extremely dangerous unless you know what you're doing or you've got some really good equipment to navigate down here. Yeah, this is probably the most dangerous location that I have to show you. I have got one that has got more to do with dangerous dinos than it is environment. Let's move on to the next location. So here we are at the beginning of the next location, mortals. And as you can see, we are deep in snow. So yeah, we are in the snow biome. Let's get it up on the map. Top left hand corner of the map. This is yet again a dangerous one, but this is because of the dinos that exist in the snow biomes themselves. There's a lot of bad ones. So I'm starting here. You can start the other side, and when I mean the other side, if you see the little castle image between the two mountains there, you can start from there as well. It's entirely up to you where you start from. I'm just going to show you this direction to the castle. So where I am exactly is 18.5, 8.9. Like I said, this is where we're going to start. So throughout this stretch, throughout this walk, you're going to see a bunch of rocks, a bunch of metal nodes, but you're also going to come across some dangerous creatures as well. So as you can see, metal node straight away. Up these slopes, you're going to see metal node after metal node, along with some obsidian as well. So this is another location you can get obsidian from. But yeah, if you just continue walking all the way around here, going up and down this path, going across up and down this hill, you're going to see metal node after metal node, along with some obsidian. Yet again, you're going to come across some dangerous creatures. There is like woolly rhinos, eutyrannuses, carnos, and just a bunch of horrible, terrible dinos that will want to eat your face. But up and down this stretch of land, you're going to see an absolute ton of metal nodes and obsidian. So as you can see, we've actually come across some woolly mammoths. They're not too bad unless you hit them, but an absolute bunch of metal nodes, along with some rocks which you can harvest just in case you need stone or flint. Entirely up to you. As we get further on, as you can see, we got Eutyranus, Ankies, Carnos, saber-toothed tigers, just a lot of bad stuff. Yeah, this leads to this little broken castle, and this is like the end. So you can start from here. Maybe you've made a base in this castle and you've made the surrounding land safe. You should already know about this stretch of land right here. Let me just give you the overview. So from the castle, you go that way, and you're just going to circle around this massive like mountain, going throughout here all the way to where we started from, and you will get a bunch of metal, a bunch of obsidian, rock, stone and flint as well. So that location down, mortals, we're going to move on to my personal favorite location on this map. Now, like I said, we basically covered a lot of areas of these maps, of this map. So we're in the top left hand corner, we went to the bottom left hand corner, we went over to the bottom right hand corner with the magma and stuff. Here we are, mortals, at the last location, and like I said before, my favourite location, just because there is a lot of metal nodes in here. And you could set up some kind of base of operations with forges and everything to try and smelt all this metal down. And instead of taking it back over a long distance maybe to get it back to your base, you could just leave it here and let it smelt here. So on the map, we are kind of over on the right hand side. We're kind of off the map-ish, because we're on like an island next to the redwood biome. This is my favorite location. As you can see, I've already got an Anki here, just because it's really good. The coordinates to this place is 36.1, 95.5. So let me just give you a quick look at what this looks like. So it is an open area, nothing bad spawns in here, but as you can see, there's a bunch of metal nodes, not necessarily all high density metal nodes, but there is quite a lot in here, along with a bunch of stone and everything. On the outside, you could, like I said before, you could set up some forges away from this a little bit, so all this would respawn again. You could come back in with your Anki and just go and harvest to your heart's content. As you can see, boom. There is also like an oil node in here, or an oil vein that you could put an oil pump on if you so wished. I'm going to show you that real quick. But this is not the only good thing about this location. There is another place that's not far from here that you're going to get just an absolute ton of metal, and I mean tons, because it's basically all high density metals. As you can see, we're actually getting quite a bit here, and you can go up top. I'm not going to harvest it all. Over here, I believe, let's get rid of that rock. As you can see right here, it's a really weird one. As you can see, yeah, I've got an oil vein right here as well. So yeah, really, really good location. A lot of metal. But let's have a look at the other place that's not far from here. So if you go to the top of this mountain, which there is a path that leads there, you're going to find a lot. So from here, we're going to circle around to the right, and we're just going to keep following this little pathway. As you can see, it is a pathway that you could follow. You could bring your Anki along if you wanted to. You could also use a flyer to get all the way up here. Along here, it's just going to be a bunch of stone. There's nothing like spectacular of metal. It's only when we reach the top of this mountain. So as you can see, there's actually gold or metal embedded into this mountain already. So just keep following it around until you reach the top, and you're gonna come across high density metal nodes along with some crystal, which is very, very nice. So you've got the top bit, which has got metal, high density metals and crystals, and just below it you've got a little cave area place that's just got a ton of metal as well. So once you finished harvesting that one, you could go up the top and harvest that one and bring it down and then smelt it all. That's entirely up to you. But like I said, this is my favorite location. I hope you mortals like this. I hope it helps you out. Hopefully now you don't have to travel too far away from your base, because you know where a good ideal spot to gather metal is. And I'll hopefully see you mortals in the next video.